So Kaira Lingo was a teacher of mine many years ago talking about interplay. Like, we did like a 1-hand 2-minute dance, and while someone else was like sharing their problem, and other ways in which we could like establish opening our minds, seeing the world in a new way, was making up a language, gibberish, saying unpredictable or unexpected things, making funny signs. And this is all for seeing each moment as completely fresh with eyes anew and not like anything that came before, whether it's gratitude, sensation. Just like to become more connected to our gratitude, to our sensation, and to our interconnectedness, we can pay close attention to the mundane, even routine or hygiene or repeated things, like without going into autopilot. It could even be fun to like wash dishes, brush our teeth. And there's like parts of us all over, even like when we're going to the bathroom with waste, poop, urine, all of life before and after. We can look at others with a present gaze because we weren't even who we were 5 minutes ago. We don't need to require people to be who they were yesterday or before. What don't we know about them? What's different? What's yet to be discovered? We can step into a nothingness. The earth comes up to meet us. We trust and like call or fall and let go of everyone. And a spiritual community, in some cultures they call it, in Hebrew we call it klal or kahal, kahila, and like in like Buddhist they call it like sangha, and then in yoga kind of also like satsang. It's everywhere, this body of connection. It's like our true home is right here. Everyone's our family. We're in our safe refuge, and we can take time to be with our body and teach our nervous system that it's safe in order to set us up for in the future life to be easier. And however, I wanted to share losing myself to find myself is dancing, yoga, art, stretching, walking for embodiment. To broaden my perspective, I do wisdom talks to learn about new things. To spiritually uplift me is music. Creating is like art, cooking, writing. Tenderness is crying to God, being in nature with animals. Interconnection is synchronicities, chants, meaningful things. Teaching someone something that will help someone, teaching someone something that will help lessen their pain. And for vitality is new interests, passions, being ignited. Self-love, it's about affirmations and new internal dialogue. Safety and acceptance is meditation, mantra, and weed. Spirituality, focus, and safety and acceptance is recovery meetings, workshops, and posts. And what I wrote weed was at that time I used to smoke weed sometimes for when I need to focus or calm down or spirituality, but I don't actually anymore. It was like kind of like a medicine when I need medicine, but as the Lubavitch Rebbe says, you need medicine until you're healthy. The goal is to become healthy. So thank God I'm healthier. That's all I'll say. And I understand why people need medicine sometimes. If I was in their shoes, I would also need it, because I did. Previous version of me. So meditation, mantra, like basically in Hebrew we say psukim. These are mantras. Like we repeat them and then our voice makes it real. And like I said, medicine. And then for connection and love is smiling and laughing with people, laying near or with someone, cuddling, massage. Safety and confidence is rise to meet a new challenge with openness, keep my word to myself, accomplish something that used to feel impossible. And safety and calm is breath work, visualization. For vitality, it was like self-pleasure. And that doesn't, not only like what people call masturbation, self-pleasure, and trying new things, for confidence, for calm and spirituality, like chanting, like repeating things over and over and over. It feels really good, almost like speaking along with a song or just saying things out loud over and over that make me feel good. Safety and calm is cleaning, organizing, throwing stuff away. For connection, checking in with people, on people with positivity, complimenting and thanking people, giving people company and attention, making effort to show people they matter. For hope and calm, mindfulness, talking to God, presence, hope and calm and connection, gratitude list. And I had a talk with someone named Cheryl. She was like someone who helps me find myself. She was saying like we can have a humble, protected submission as our next step, to be guided by God, to use us. Use me, God. Let God lead me. We can dance for God and receive His gifts and being open to God in God's way, wanting to know God and focus on God's love for me, being more like God, not trying to hide in questions and doubts with acting and self-deception, but rather recognizing the right people and tribes will welcome me in and will feel right for me, even if And it feels different with right and wrong. Right feels closer to God and wrong feels further from God. And that's admitting that I need God, right? So we can let God catch us and pray for others to find God and be touched by God's breath. And remember, God doesn't need me, but the way that humans need. And to feel chosen is not to feel like undamned. It's not the same thing. It's like feeling like we're going somewhere bad, we're doomed, right? Is not the same thing as feeling like we're not chosen. God comes to us through people. We can believe in our own innocence and not need honor, even give up a partner, like just do it to be one with God. And we can ask God to help us grow and be set free. And what doesn't serve me was like people, I named a few people, Naftali, Binyamin, Adam, who punished me because they don't love themselves. They're not for me. Passive-aggressive people are insecure and overcompensating and always performing. They don't feel safe or like there's room for growth, like Shia or Vadim are not for me. People without conflict resolution skills or can't talk things out or be real with integrity and authenticity, like Genevieve and Devorah, are not for me. People who ghost me and only show up when they need something, like Eli or Carol, are not for me. People who are judgmental and shaming me, like Bubby and Levi, are not for me. People who always need it to be my fault or can't be grateful or appreciative ever, like Chana, Mushka, my father, are not for me. People who can't make peace, Chana, Mushka, my sisters, and Levi is my brother. People who can't make peace with the past in a way that's with grace and love and openness and understanding, like my mother and my sister Esty, are not for me. And when I say for me, doesn't mean like they're not my cup of tea. It means they're not for me. They're not here for me. So I'm not saying like they're not, it's not that they're not my cup of tea, but they're not elevating or really like good for me, you know? It's like, don't rely on them. People who don't give me benefit of the doubt or let me be different and still acceptable, like Tammy and Rickle, are not for me. Manipulative people like Simon and Panina, because they don't think about how they come across, just their own needs as if they're perfect and don't have to take any accountability ever, like they're always victims, are not for me. And I will stop here, and actually I'll share one more part, which is about without having an agenda. So raising my consciousness is not needing credit. It's being more like the light, receiving light, not comparing to others, being reliably supportive regardless of what I receive, and giving benefit of the doubt, receiving for the sake of sharing, letting things breathe, giving permission for feelings and mistakes, knowing boundaries, balancing yes and no. The reason you didn't see me make a blessing on my water is because I made one earlier. Empowering others, listening and being present, praising and thanking others, being present, coming back to right now, sharing beyond my comfort zone, not being attached to the outcome, seeing others' giftedness, recognizing what others have to offer. Everyone deserves to be here. If we aren't made to believe we are intentional, we'll believe we don't deserve to be here and attract what matches that vibration. And so I look forward to sharing more tomorrow. I wish you a good night.